Hey, welcome to the Ruymand Show. Now you might be wondering, how is the camera following me? Well, that's because this is an AI-powered camera. Also, as if you're wondering, what room am I in right now? The computer room, / the studio and the entertainment room. And also, sorry about that, I was listening to my glasses read a message on Messenger. These are the Meta glasses. It was actually a gift from my brother. And just to change the view, I'm recording what I'm looking at right now. You can see how the camera is following me around and how it moves. There are other functionalities that I still have not learned how to use. I got this camera about 2.5 years ago to make more YouTube videos, which I did not. There is a button over here, but you don't actually have to use the button. What you can do is you can say, hey Meta, record. And you can see the light come on. This is just a privacy sort of light, so you know somebody is recording. And then you can also say, hey Meta, stop recording. Alternatively, you could just click this button. Now, it's not just video and picture, but you could also listen to music.
You know, the last video I made would have never been made if it wasn't for AI. I guess I could have paid someone on $5 or $10 to read the script, but I ended up going with AI because I feel like I really made that video more for me than anyone else. I think that really summed up everything I've been doing. Look, I will not use AI to make one of those again. It was sort of an experiment. And the thing I mentioned in that video, rather the AI avatar of me mentioned, was that there are so many more tools, there's so many tools to be creative, and yet I'm not making videos anymore.
So much has changed, so much more tools to be creative, and yet I do not make videos anymore.
There were a couple people that sent me a message like, this is kind of creepy, and I agree with that. The way you train that AI is you record a 10 seconds video or a minute video of yourself talking to a camera, and then you write whatever you want, and then it'll read the whole thing. It'll really replicate you. The part that was really shocking to me was the head movements, because I kind of do that sometimes when I'm talking. The head movement and the eyebrow movement. The audio was a little weird, but when you combine it to the video, it looked pretty natural. I think the best combination is an AI with human. A human using an AI system to generate a fuck ton of ideas that they can be inspired off or on, and then they just pick out the one they like and go fully on in that. The truth is, I used to be a lot more creative, and I've become less creative over the years. So yeah, I really got a lot of these gadgets. I mean, I even got these. These are also AI powered, so I can use them on a stand when I'm on my own. I don't really need to have another person there to make videos anymore. These also do track you. You know, like a couple of years ago, a long time ago, I remember Dad actually sat me down and was like, look son, it's good that you like to draw and you like to, I don't know, beatbox, or you like to dance, or you like to do all of this stuff, but none of them will ever be your career. That was kind of a tough one, because it was like, okay, like until now you basically supported my hobbies, but when I want to do it as a career, you don't really want to support it. His reasoning was that you're not going to be able to pay your living costs or even your life if you do these things, because the chance of you being able to monetize it is very low. But you never know. You know, I think maybe that might have been a bit of a mistake, saying, hey, don't do this. But that wasn't really the path I ended up choosing, and the more I sat down and thought about it, the more I realized he was right. But I thought he was right because I'm very similar to my dad. I think maybe, yes, he could have been a little bit more supportive of it, and maybe I could have gone into those career paths. Maybe he could have even paid my living cost and just my way of living. But anyways, that's not really where I went. But the reason I bring this up is because I've talked with a lot of other people that have played certain instruments, and I tell them, what was the last time you played it? And they're like, gosh, I don't know. It was maybe like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I'm like, why? And their reasoning is the same reasoning I give for why I don't do it. I don't do it because at some point I realized there is no future in it. I can't really do this for a living. So then I stopped doing it. Even beatboxing, if I go back in the day, it was on, I don't remember when exactly, but I think it was either Wednesdays or Fridays. There was an open mic day on our cafeteria, and I used to go and do certain beatboxes, or when there was a talent show, I would go and dance. Back then, the stuff I was doing at the age I was doing seemed like I was really good. Today, when I compare myself with everyone else, I'm pretty bad, and the reason is all of those people grew. They just continued doing it, got better. Meanwhile, I didn't. All of the people that continued doing them, they're so much better. One of my cousins, Shiva, I honestly think when we were drawing at the age we were together, when we were drawing that stuff together, I think, without bias, okay, maybe a little bit of bias, I think I was much better. But now if you want to compete, I cannot compete at all because she has surpassed me by so much because she is doing it professionally. And that's my whole point. I ended up going down a different path. I went down the startup path, which was a very painful path. And it's a path that I'm still recovering from. People I talk with say, okay, there was something you gained from it. There was the experience you gained from it and the contacts you gained from it. And this is true to a certain point. If it wasn't for the startup, I would have not even met Natalia because I probably would have not lived in the same student housing for as long as I did. And so maybe we would have not even been together. So there's I think more things that I gained because of it. Meeting Natalia was one. And also, getting this apartment was one. I got this apartment because of a contact I made from a job I took over because I needed cash to pay my life while I did the startup and the study. One of my coworkers' mother was a real estate agent, or rather a retired real estate agent, but they saw the pain and the struggle I was going through for them to be like, okay, we actually kind of want to help you find a place. So then this place happened. And also, I'm still in that workplace. I ended up staying around. Long story short, there's a lot of stuff that still didn't happen and didn't happen because I didn't go to them. But a lot of other things did, and there is value in them. A lot of times we are like, I missed out on this, I missed out on the other thing. But okay, if my life went perfectly as if I planned it, I would have not been here today, and I would have not been the person I am now. And I think I prefer that more so than the alternative. I think maybe, again, as I mentioned, Dad could have been maybe a little bit more supportive. I would have gone into the industry that I really, really wanted. But that doesn't mean that I'm unhappy. In fact, I'm very happy. Maybe happy is not the word for it. I'm very fulfilled. I really liked design technology because it had design in it. It had art in it. You know what? Let's move on from that. The point is, I'm very fulfilled in what I am now. However, if my kids come to me and tell me, hey, I want to do this, I will support them. Okay, maybe I'm not going to support everything. I'm going to look and see what they want to do. I might not support an OnlyFans account. I will be like, okay, let's sit down. Let's see what we can do. Let's figure out what you're good at, what you like to do in the world, what the world needs. Let's find a balance. Which is not something I did for myself, at least. I find joy in looking at other people be creative. Maybe I'm not as creative anymore myself, but I like to watch other people be creative. For example, beatboxing is one. I can't do it anymore. I stopped even developing that skill very early on. I picked it up to a certain level and abandoned it. But a lot of people still, from the old days, messaging me or like, hey, have you met somebody that can do beatbox? And you send an audio. And I have done that on a couple occasions. I played around with the idea, and I used with a loop station even. But I can't be as good as they are anymore. I can't do a lot of the things people do now. Feel the pressure. I don't wanna know if you blame me, keep it on the I like being the host in a lot of different things. Recently, I was a host at my friend's wedding. I was the best man and the host. I really enjoyed it. But maybe there may be times that I'm a little bit more tired. I'm maybe not as energetic. I'd like to sit back and relax and watch somebody else do it. Which is why I think I actually really enjoy other people being more creative. But that's also because I'm not as good as they are. If you're watching an expert do what they usually do, you're going to enjoy watching it. More so than somebody that doesn't really know how to do it. I think I don't really know how to do it anymore compared to those people. So I really enjoy watching those people.
Oh, hello there. This is Adam Sandler, and I just want to say you need to subscribe to this channel. You really do. You're not going to regret it. Just click it. It's right there staring at you. See what it says? It says subscribe. Oh,